When I was diagnosed with bladder cancer in 2024, I desperately wanted to find resources. I wanted to see and hear from people who have been through a bladder cancer diagnosis to see what the experience was like. One of the resources that I found and quickly engaged with was the Bladder Cancer Matters podcast from the Bladder Cancer Advocacy Network, better known as BCAN. The podcast is hosted by Rick Bangs, who himself is a muscle-invasive bladder cancer survivor, and he reminds everyone at the outset of every podcast that he is also the proud owner of a NeoBladder. Rick interviews people from across the spectrum of the bladder cancer community, including patients, survivors, advocates, medical professionals, caregivers, and more. The podcast was started in 2021 and has close to 100 episodes covering a wide range of topics from health, exercise, and nutrition to procedures and emerging technology and research in the bladder cancer space. When I found the podcast, I scrolled back through the feed and began looking for topics that I either wanted to learn about or wanted to know more about, and started saving those episodes and going back and listening to them. Some of the most powerful episodes are the ones where you hear from patients who have been through the bladder cancer experience and share their experiences. The podcast also covers topics that are sensitive in nature and topics that you might not feel comfortable discussing with your healthcare provider. Now, I know I'm a bit of a nerd and podcasts aren't for everyone, but at the time that I was diagnosed, I did have a 45-minute commute to and from my place of work, and so I did fill my time with podcasts of all kinds of nature, and so this just fit into my routine and was something that I was able to engage in rather easily. If you are newly diagnosed with bladder cancer or living with it like I am, I highly recommend that you subscribe and listen to the Bladder Cancer Matters podcast from BCAN, wherever you get your podcasts.